No Crowns, Only Verdicts. Short story by JameliaAlicia. The courtroom had no crown-shaped chandeliers or velvet thrones. Instead, glass walls rose toward the ceiling, etched with laws written in every language known and forgotten. Above the judge's bench, a single sentence glowed softly. Justice belongs to those who speak for what cannot. They called it the Princess Courtroom, not because the women inside wore tiaras, but because each carried a lineage older than power itself. Each princess had a story to tell about their power and where it originates from. There is no other story like this to tell. Princess Amara of the Delta stood first. She wore a tailored suit the color of river clay, her hands steady as she spoke of poisoned waters and stolen land. "Nature does not sign contracts," she said calmly, "yet she is always the one bound by them." Her voice echoed through the chamber, rippling like the river she defended. Beside her sat Princess Yara from the concrete cities. No royal blood, only inherited resistance. She argued for girls erased by systems that praised equality while practicing silence. "Justice that excludes is not justice," she said. "It is decoration of ideas and accords that is meant to shape the destiny of each kingdom." Across the room, Princess Kailani represented the islands already slipping beneath the sea and politics. She placed a shell on the stand instead of documents. "This is evidence," she said. "When the ocean takes our homes, where do you expect us to appeal?" The opposition spoke in polished language: economic necessity, tradition, compromise. But their words felt small in the presence of women who argued not for themselves, but for forests, oceans, girls unborn, and histories denied by the oppressor. There was no gavel in this courtroom. Decisions were made by consensus, by weight of truth rather than volume of power. When the verdict was delivered, it was not a punishment, but a mandate. Laws rewritten to include the earth. Justice expanded to include those never invited. Power redistributed, not seized. As the princesses rose to leave, no one bowed. They didn't need to. Their authority came not from crowns, but from courage, the kind that stands in a room built by old rules and insists on new ones. Outside, the world waited, and for the first time, it listened, because each princess had a story to tell about the lands they lived in. Out of all, one voice rose among the princesses and stated, "May I?" She rose with grace, which looked like a lioness among many cubs of lions. She went by the name Princess Arissa of Africa and bowed before the courtroom. "I feel within myself that it is right for these laws to go forward, but before we place these laws forward, can we consider the long-term impacts behind them? As all of us know, we do need a knight in shining armor, but the rest of it we need to become a knight of our romance story. This is not a game of love or war. This is a game of law and what is right." All the princesses agreed to the Princess Arissa point, and silent stung harder than anything else in the room. The silent represented the strength of all the princesses in the room and form of resistance to fight their corner. All the princesses had different views, but they fighted their corner with class and equally bounded their views together, because bringing all women together was far better than a room full of divided princesses. Princess Arissa sat back down and negotiated with all the princesses in the room with pride and happiness. There was no going back from this. Someone had to pay the price, but Princess Arissa knew that for the world to live in peace, the people that ruled the kingdoms had to give people second chances. For a fairer, brighter, and equal world. That's final. No one was prized to be won, and in the world where kings ruled, it was time for princesses, soon queens, to take the place and decide the fate of the world. We are princesses because we refuse to inherit silence over queens and kings. That is power inherited by our forefathers. In Enchanted Ball of the Future, we see anything clearer than a crystal ball of fortune and vibrant richness. Soon, all kingdoms will become one entity ruled by princesses.